Nick! Yes! Good evening! Welcome back to Frugal Outdoors with myself, Dylan. And we are out fishing and it is comp night. Like I said last time, we got a comp. It's Saturday and we're fishing Totland. Totland on the Isle of Wight. If you don't know the Isle of Wight at all, Totland pretty much faces west-northwest. So we've got the wind coming in, but we've got a lovely view out in front of us. We're going to have the sunset dropping right in front of our faces. It's going to be a good night, hopefully. We finally had that blow that I was talking about. We finally got a bit of stir up out there. Colour looks amazing. Conditions look great. So without further ado, let's get some gear set up and we'll go through some rigs and some bait and hopefully we can get into a couple of fish tonight. Cheers. So as I was saying, it's a match night tonight, so I'm buzzing. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm always excited for the comps, to be honest. It's a lot of fun. We all get to fish on the same beach, which is why I do like fishing for this club, because it's a fixed venue. And yeah, we get to find out what's going on as the night goes, generally anyway. Might need to do a few phone calls, because obviously there's quite a few of us. I think there's maybe 18, 20 of us, I think, tonight. I got called out in the middle, so I'm kind of roughly where I would normally choose to fish anyway. I'm fishing with my standard setup, which is my 2 Daiwa rods and my 2 Shimano Power Aero reels. I am fishing with my braid tonight. I should have maybe actually switched it out and put my mono on, but never mind. I mean, I might be grateful of it later, because basically right in front of me here is a reef. And I've purposely chose here to fish because I do want to fish into it if I can. The target this evening is any fish over £2, which, well, in my view, is going to be a conger eel, really. Yes, there's definitely a chance of picking up a ray down here. It is one of the better places on the island to get them, or it certainly used to be. But yeah, I'm going to be hopefully going for a conger, really. A conger, and I do have some crab, because even just in the space of me going out on Tuesday, it's Saturday now, and saying about trying for the first hound, a few more have been caught. And so's a few bream. And as you all know, I do like to catch a bream or two. So there's a chance of that tonight. I've got some worm, I've got all sorts tonight, so we'll go through all that in a second. Let's just quickly thread this line through and then we'll have a look. There we go, rods and reels are all set up. So again, welcome to the channel, welcome to the sunny Isle of Wight, and hopefully we can get into a couple of fish. If you're new to the channel, then please don't forget to subscribe. And let's have a look, shall we? Well, this is nice, isn't it? Sitting in the sunshine. So time is, I think it's about 4:30. So we did our draw at 4 o'clock and we're fishing at 5 o'clock until 11. Now, it is quite a big tide. So I am fishing with 7s. I've got 4 7s and 4 6s. If I can fish it with a 6, then I will use a 6. But I just think with this bit of breeze that we've got as well, a 7 will just help drag that bait out there just a little bit further. Anyway, that's the thought process behind it. Rig-wise, well, I managed to make a few new rigs for this evening. I'm going to be fishing with the pulley loop rigs. I've made some up in 2.0s, I've made some up in size 1s, and I've also got some of the scratching rigs that I normally use. But what I've done, because I heard that some bream have been caught, I have put some pop-ups on. So they sold amazingly well last year. So I will be putting those up in the coming weeks, because if bream are showing, then people are going to want bream rigs. And I really struggled to keep up with them last year, so I need to get a heads up on that. All these rigs are available from www.frugaloutdoors.co.uk and Slamfish of Isle of Wight. Bait, well, let's get to the exciting stuff straight away. Spider peeler crab, 2 of, I should be able to get probably 6 baits out of those. I'm not going to be fishing massive baits tonight. The biggest hooks I've got are 2.0s, and I think I should be able to get a few baits out of that. I've also got some shore peeler crabs. Managed to get my hands on 4. There's 2 small ones in there, 1 average one and 1 big one, which I should be able to get 2 baits out of. So I've got plenty of crab. Ragworm was really hard to get hold of as well, but I managed to get some. I got some sardines, I got some anchovies. I do love fishing with anchovies. And of course the obligatory bag of seasick squid, or seasick squid, as somebody pointed out the other day, which I thought was highly amusing. So I've got my crab out defrosting. The rest of it I'm going to keep in my cool box. But first of all, my first baits I'm going to put out are going to be ragworm. If I'm going to catch a bream, more than likely it's going to be in the daytime. There's also a chance of picking up maybe a wrasse. So I am going to fish with rag first. One rod I'm going to fish with rag tipped with squid, and the other rod I'm going to fish with just straight rag. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you will know that I do like to use a pop-up on my bream rigs. Not my idea, of course, stolen from other people, mainly the Shore Hunter and Tom Bagnall, to be honest with you. So we've got little size 2 Chanus on there, a relatively long snood. This one's got a heavier gauge line on it. This one's got a 40-pound line, and on the other one I've got 25-pound line. It's definitely a chance of picking a smooth hound up on the ragworm as well, and I have caught them on these rigs before, so that's definitely worth noting. Sometimes a heavier line can be beneficial. So this one I'm going to tip with squid. It's the heavier line. The thinner line, I'm just going to go straight ragworm. Oh, I'm excited. I really am. Can't wait. Can't wait to get a bait out there. Nice. Lovely. Right. Now, I know a lot of people don't bother using a needle for ragworm. I do prefer using a needle. Again, it's just one of those things that's personal preference. Especially on the smaller hooks. I personally find it hard to feed the worm over the hook. So we're going to use a needle. A little tip that I did pick up from the Shore Hunter when I fished with him at Chesil was to take the head off. Not because of the pinching or anything, just because it will let out more juice. So threaded that on the needle. One end of the needle's got a hole in it that you can put the hook into, keep the tension on it, just slide that over your knot. Much smaller tag end on these, just so I don't blow the worm apart. There we go, 1 ragworm on the hook, and we'll tip that with some squid. All I'm doing with the squid is I'm just going to cut a strip of that. Hello, mate. So all I've done is I've just taken my squid, I've cut a piece off, which was actually a little bit too big. So what I'm going to do is just trim that, cut it down the middle. So I'm going to have 2 pieces of squid hanging from the bottom. Not going to be hitting this out very far, so we certainly don't need to be whipping anything on. And there we go, we're going to end up with 2 baits looking just like that. Perfect for a bream. So there we are, that's one baited. The other one, I won't show you the other one, I'm just going to do exactly the same, but it's just going to be straight ragworm, and then we're ready to fish. And then as soon as I get those ones out, I can bait up a spare rig. Yee! Now you will notice, because we are in the daytime, we've got a lot of public walking past, a lot of dog walkers, just trying to keep my baits up out of reach of any dogs, just so we don't have any accidents. But there you go, we are baited and ready to rock and roll. Now we just need to hear the whistle go and we can start fishing. And just like that, it's ready to go. So, wish me luck. Hopefully we can get into a couple of fish. First cast. Not hoping for much, to be honest, on the first one, but you never know, we might get extremely lucky. I'm just going to flick this one straight over my head. Definitely got some crosswind out there. But right, one is out, let's get the other one. And like I say, none of these rigs are clipped, apart from obviously when I start fishing with the loop rigs later. Got to watch out for these little bushes here. We're fine. Right, let's get this one out. That one went extremely high. Never mind. It's out. And then we'll worry about our next rigs. And there we are, we're fishing. 2 baits out there. Awesome. Right, let's get our 3rd rig ready. It's just going to be another scratching rig. Again with size 2 hooks. While it's daylight, I'm just going to fish small, fish with the worm. And then as soon as the light starts to go, we're going to probably chuck out some crab and we'll chuck out some fishy baits. See if we can't find ourselves a conger or a smoothhound. But initially, let's just try and get a fish. Well, that period of sunshine didn't last for very long, did it? It's cold. Sun's gone in and wind's picked up and it's freezing. So yeah, I'll put my smock on in a minute. Tide's come right in now though, that's nice. But those have probably been out there for maybe 10 minutes. So I'm going to check them. I'm going to give them 15 minutes and I'll check them. I've got another one ready. And then I'll just rotate those 3 baits. But yeah, see if we can't pick something up. Like I say, the conditions look amazing. Got a nice bit of chop, there's a nice bit of colour, and we've got a nice big tide. So with any luck, we might get into a fish. Right, I think I'm going to have a look at this one. Just check it, see how it got on for the crab activity. Change it up, and then fish on. Well, they're not touched at all. So that's good. So it means we can leave them in for a little bit longer. And by complete contrast, that one was stripped completely clean. So one was stripped, one wasn't. So we'll try and stick this one in the same place. It obviously means there's a little bit of activity there. So this is the one that was stripped last time. So I'm going to change this one first, just to see if I'm dumping it right in the middle of some, you know, a whole bunch of crab. There's still a little bit on there. Not a lot though. Yeah, one of them stripped, and there's a tiny little bit of ragworm left, so I am going to keep trying to hit that same spot. And it might be completely the wrong thing to do, but in my mind, if there's crabs there picking at the bait, then potentially there might be predatory fish there after the crab as well. And obviously, when they're picking at the bait, it's just getting more scent out in the water. Right, let's get this one out. So I actually tipped one of those rag off with a little bit of crab. So all we can do at the moment is just keep baiting and keep chucking them out. And hopefully, at some point, we'll get into a fish. Light is going pretty quick. So hopefully it won't be too long till something comes out on the feed. So interesting. Right hand rod comes back with all of the bait every time. Left hand rod stripped every time. So, yeah, obviously must just be putting it into some rocks with his crabs or something. But anyway, we'll keep going. Hopefully we get a fish in a minute. Well, we still haven't had any action anyway. Probably been fishing for close to an hour. There's been a turbot caught though off the shore, which is really cool to see. It is quite a notorious mark for turbot down here. Difficult to find one in size, but you do get them here and place. Not that I ever have, but rumour has it they are here. Yeah, that's nice though, but I haven't heard of anything else coming out. I don't know if anyone's actually weighed in yet. And that sun is going quickly. I keep having to change the settings on the camera. And I'm running out of rag quite quickly, so I'm thinking it's not going to be long before I set up a loop rig with some crab on it, I think. Crab on one hook, and then a fish bait on the other, and basically that means I can fish one rig for 2 separate species. But yeah, it'd be nice to see a fish though. Keep changing those baits. Well, I've got 7-ounce grippers on and we're still moving, and that has basically got no bait left on it again. And it's had my hook off. Right, that is a sign then that this will be getting changed over. I'm going to put some bigger hooks on, some bigger, slightly bigger baits, or basically just not worm baits. We've chucked some fish and crab out there, I think. Yep, time for a switch up. Yeah, snip me hook off. Only one, but it's enough. So let's get out a loop rig. Right, crab. So obviously these crabs are frozen, so they're completely dead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to peel the legs off, just like so. And then already you can see that the soft sort of new shell, if you like, is underneath. Really fleshy. We can tip baits off with some of these legs, but whether we will or not tonight, I don't know. But we'll keep them anyway. We can always wrap them up with the bait, just to bulk them out a little bit. There we go, pull all the legs off, and then in there, you see, we've got the mouthpiece. You can just pull that out as well. And what I like to do is just grab anything at hand, give the back of the shell a couple of taps. Just makes it a little bit easier. Sometimes if they're not quite ready, you can pull that back shell off and it will pull a lot of the flesh out with it, and I don't want to do that. So crack the back, pull the shell off, got the other part of the mouth there, pull that out, and then we'll just give the bottom a little bit of a squeeze, which then cracks the remainder of the shell, which is just all stuff around the sockets of the legs. Get as much of that off as we can. There we go. It's a really nice crab actually, this one. The more you can get off it, the better obviously. But I think when the hounds are in, if there's a little bit of shell on there, they're really not fussy. And there we go. One nice baggy mess. Now that's quite a nice size. This is what I mean, the spiders are so much bigger than shore crab. So I'll cut that in half to begin with, and I'll probably cut it at a diagonal across there again. That will just give me 4 baits. I'm only fishing with smaller hooks, so I'm going to put a loop rig out which has only got size 1s on it, so I don't want to put too big a bait on there. Just pop that on the tool and then whip it on. If I was out pleasure fishing, I would use a bigger bait just to get more scent out there, but this will pick up a wrasse, still pick up a bream if there's one lurking around. So at the moment we're just getting hammered by the crabs. So like I said, this one's got size 1s on it. The benefit with the loop rig, obviously, it gives you the ability to have a nice long trace on the bottom, and then we've got another one at the top, but the top one is on a pulley rig, so essentially exactly the same as your pulley pennel, but we've got a single hook. And what I've done is I've got 40-pound snoods on there just to lighten it a little bit. The one on the bottom, that's pennelled, and because it goes to a cascade swivel, that bottom piece of line, that's 60 pounds. So I can fish with a nice fish bait on there for a conger, and then a crab bait on the top for a smooth hound. When I get my other loop rigs out later, they've got bigger hooks on, so those ones are size 2Os. And that means then I can up the size again. That bite does mean I can up the size again of the baits when we get into real darkness, and then we're really trying to coax one of those congers out. And there we are. It's a really nice crab bait. I mean, that's about the same size as a whole shore crab, and that's a quarter of quite a small peeler spider. And then on the bottom, I'm going to bait up a whole anchovy. Oh, just threw the remainder of the rag all over the floor. Cool. Oh. Oh, I dropped it. Oh my God, I just legged it. My rod just hooped over. And it just snapped the hook. Oh, gutted. Oh, I wish you guys had seen that. Oh my God. Oh, well, there's something out there. Oh, I've only got one rod in. Now I'm shaking. I've got to get this bait out quick. Oh no. I'm only using like fine wire on that one. Normally I use a Chanuz. If it was a Chanuz, it was fine. I've got 2 rigs set up with Chanuz, and I happened to have one in the box that had some really fine wire Aberdeens, and it snapped. It was a hell of a bite. Oh. Right, so let's get this one out quick. So I've just got that anchovy on there, on the bottom, because I can pennel it up. That was a nice fish. I got my drag set reasonably decent, like, because there's a lot of wind, there's a lot of tide. So it's set quite firm, and it just ripped line off. Right, there we go. That is the second bait on the bottom. Let's clip it up and let's get it out quick. I think, you know what, the way that went, that could have actually been a smooth hound. Oh no. Makes me feel sick. Right, let's get this one out. Right, so there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another pulley loop rig out, seeing as I'm now down to one scratching rig anyway, and I can get that out on the next cast. See, that's how hard that is, and it just pulled line. Oh! Anyway, let's not dwell on it. Let's get a fresh bait out on the other one. There we go, we've got 2 nice crab baits out there, 2 anchovy baits. I'm going to bait up that scratching rig one more time, so I think I've probably got enough worm just to do that. And then, yeah, it's going to be all about dogfish, congers, maybe a hound. But, I mean, it feels like a classic smooth hound bite. Rod hooped over, it stripped line straight away. But it snapped my hook. I mean, they got big, strong plates, and that only had like tiny little size 1 match hooks, so they're super thin. Ugh. Anyway, I said I'm not going to dwell on it, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Ah, well, there we go. We got two nice pulley loop rigs out there. Crab on the top, which is on the pulley. Whole anchovy on the bottom. Got my last baited up ragworm baits there, and then we'll start switching it up to the next size up of hooks, where we're going to start really trying to fish for a conger, try and get that fish over £2. Any fish really at the moment, let's face it, but you know, when it is getting dark, definitely got a good chance to get the conger eel. But yeah, just keep going really, and try and put that one behind us. Well, we haven't had a touch since that nice big bite, so I think what I'm going to do, I need to change the one on the right anyway. I'm going to put the scratching rig out slightly to my left. Right, so I'm casting to my left and they're swinging round a little bit anyway. I'm using the 7-ounce grippers, and there's still quite a bit of movement out there. I've got a bigger loop rig there, which has got a nice big crab bait on the bottom and a whole anchovy on the top. And we'll chuck that out, and then that'll be it then. We'll just be on the loop pulleys. Like I say, our club is a 2-rod comp, 4 hooks, and a pennel does count as 1 hook. But obviously you can only have 1 pennel per rod. I know a lot of clubs will count a pennel as 2 hooks, but like I say, every club has their own rules, and it just so happens that for ours, it counts as 1 hook. Right, come on then, let's fish hard. Let's try and get a fish. Just caught into a snag then. There we go, as expected, that whole anchovy is completely gone. Perfect, it's exactly where I want them. Here we go. Finally getting some action. Well, we've got it, wherever it is. I'm not going to count my chickens just yet, though. Let's get it in first. Oh yes, that's what we got. It's a dog. It's a dogfish. Ah, but we wade in, and when it's slow like this, I'd definitely take it. On the crab as well. Ah, yes. Oh, chuffed. There we go, matey, look at that. There we are, we're weighing in. Awesome, right, let's get this unhooked. Take it to a weigh station real quick. Get it released. And at least we're on the board. Oh, brilliant. Little dogfish, £1.3, but we weighed in. Oh, I'm over the moon. Right, I can relax a little bit now. Let's just try and get some numbers on the board. Oh, we got some weight here. I thought I saw some movement on it, but might be a bit of weed, but weight right from the get-go. Ah, well there we are. That is why I'm getting stripped. Spider crabs, awesome. Well, does mean if they're coming in, then so the smooth hounds. So I am going to keep chucking out that crab bait, because you never know, we might get lucky and get one. Oh no. That's why it's really hard, like the baits are not lasting very long out there at all at the moment, and that will be why. Hopefully they'll move on, but they probably won't. I definitely reckon there's a spider crab on my left hand rod. Getting the slow pull down, and then every now and again it will flick up, obviously where it's pulling on the bait, and then it lets go, and then it pops back up. Yeah, it's pretty hard going, gotta be honest. Like I say, we have got a fish, so I can relax a little bit more than some others, but like I say, it's been hard fishing tonight. Just coming up to halfway, and we're nowhere near the top of the tide yet, so you know, there's plenty of time for the fishing to improve. But yeah, I've got a feeling I've got probably crab activity on both rods. So what I've done with some of my fish baits now is I'm wrapping quite a bit of squid with it, even all the way around it sometimes, just to try and slow the crabs down a little bit. You'd like to think that maybe like a fish will just push that crab out the way to get at it. But I have noticed that every time I put crab out there, that's coming back, apart from when it had the fish on. So I'm thinking maybe they don't eat so much of their own, so at least there is a bait out there, you know. But we'll keep going. I've run out of food. I've eaten all my food, but we'll keep going anyway. There we go. So that's the next one that's going out. I'll change the camera angle in a minute, but there we are. So we got a little bit of sardine now on the top, and then crab and squid wrap on the bottom. But yeah, still struggling to find the bites. I'm not hearing of a lot going on, to be honest. It'd be nice to think that maybe a few fish will come along in a bit. But that wind's picked up, the swell's picked up. So let's say it'd be nice to think that it brought a few fish in as well. Thought I had a bite on the right hand rod earlier, reeled in. Baits are pretty smashed, but I would have said it was crabs, to be honest. But it's just a funny old bite, but maybe it wasn't a bite at all, who knows. There was no weed on it, so it wasn't weed. So I've still got one spider peeler left, which will give me 4 baits. And I think then, yeah, we'll maybe have to switch it up again, and maybe put some 3.0s, maybe like 3.0 pulley pennels or something like that, because the baits are getting hammered. But obviously, you know, if the spider crabs are in, there's not a lot we can do about it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop one in a little bit closer, just to see if it's going to make any difference. Not go quite as far as the reef. Obviously hitting the reef, maybe that's just where all the spiders are, because they can hold up there in all the rocks and everything else. So I'm going to drop one in a little closer, just see if it makes a difference. God, this wind is strong. Well, actually, that one's pretty much untouched, so maybe they've moved on, which would be nice. So I've got a breakwater right to the left of me. So basically what I've done, I've probably just put it at the same sort of similar distance to the end of the breakwater, and in that direction as well. You can see they're just doing that, but that's because I've got braid and they're getting pulled in the swell. Like I say, probably in hindsight it would have been better to use mono tonight, but I've got a spool, I've got a spare spool in there, but I've only got one. And I don't really want to do one with braid and one with mono. But yeah, keep going, just keep going. Oh, there we are. I'm just doing some more baiting up. So we've got half a sardine there to put on the bottom. You can see there the 2.0s, nice and proud. Got some sort of liver or something hanging out of there. That looks nice. And then another piece of sardine with some squid wrapped up with it. But yes, still super slow. Obviously, I will bring you back, of course, even if I just get a bite. But yeah, it's hard going at the moment. So I'm going to chuck this out on the right-hand side. And then that's pretty much 2 fresh baits out there then. And I'm hoping that the crab activity's maybe eased up a little bit, in which case I can leave these out there for a little while. Hopefully, you know, they're nice smelly baits. Maybe a conger will come along. That's really what I'm trying to go for now. I have still got some crab, so I will be putting that out. Oh, wow. Nick's just had an absolutely fantastic undulate ray. We did say that down here you do get them. It's got to be a double figure. It's so thick, and the wings on it, you know, it's a big ray. He's absolutely stoked. It's really difficult to get it in because we've got this swell coming up the wall, but we have got steps every now and again, and God bless him, got down there and got it. He got absolutely soaked, but what a stunning fish. I'll find out how heavy it is in a minute, but yeah, what a beautiful fish. So we all jumped in, we all helped. There's 4 of us down there trying to move rods and stuff like that just so we could get it in. But yeah, brilliant job. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Oh, well, there we are. 13.6 pounds. That's a nice fish. You say with a fish like that, you only need one, don't you? Chucked him straight to the top, I would have thought tonight. It's been so slow. Oh yeah, awesome. Absolutely chuffed for him. Wicked fish. He's so made up. He's got a massive grin on his face. We got something on here. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. Nick! Got something on. Staying deep.
Pointing as well. And staying deep.
Yes. Shall I go down to that other? There's another set of steps down this way.
Go down, mate.
She's on her back as well, that's nice. Oh, there we go. Took a while to get it out, but check that out. I'm chuffed with that. There we go. £11.6. That's a nice ray. That's my biggest undulate. That is a PB undulate for me. Right, let's get this back in as quick as we can. Woo, I am absolutely made up. Yeah, man. Oh, my rod's clattered on the floor. Oh, we got a nice safe release. Yeah. Oh, unbelievable. So that was on that pulley loop, the top hook as well. So the smaller hook. Unbelievable. Little size 1. Yeah. Size 1 hook on a 40-pound snood. Oh, well, we got it out. I am absolutely stoked. Oh, mate. £11.7. I know they get so much bigger. I mean, Nick's is over 13 pounds. I think my previous was like 10, 11, so it's only a little bit bigger, really. Yeah. Oh, my heart is absolutely pounding. That was the one that I stuck closer in at the end of this breakwater. When I first started reeling, I thought it might have been a conger eel. And all I was just thinking was like, oh yeah, just please be a fish over 2 pounds. Wicked. Such a slow bite as well. Just pull, pull, pull. I was like, oh, I think that doesn't look like the swell. And then reeled in, boom. I'm so chuffed. So chuffed. Oh, so cool, man. So cool. So there we go. That took one of the anchovies. Whole anchovy with a bit of squid wrapped up the side of it. In fact, it might have even been an anchovy fillet, just a small piece. Crazy. Size 1 hook. You know, fishing for dogfish, maybe a small conger, but mainly dogfish really on that rig. And then it had a much bigger bait on the bottom. Whole peeler crab. Whole peeler crab and a piece of squid. There we go. So I've got a nice cone end, the bottom half of a sardine. I've got a sardine head, I think, out on each of these rigs out here at the moment. Like I say, trying to get a conger eel. Might have just sent me up the table right behind Nick. So we came first and second on the last outing. I was first, he was second, and at the moment he's first. And I'm imagining I'm second, but like I say, I don't know, because there might be some other good fish coming out as well. But we're certainly doing okay. So I'd be silly not to put out a whole anchovy again, wouldn't I? Oh, I am so chuffed. It's only the second undulate ray I've ever had. And there we go. Another one. Exactly the same as the last one. Bigger hook though this time. But I've got a couple of little knocks on this right-hand rod. I'm going to have a little look. There might be a dogfish on there, but if not, it's due a change anyway. Like I say, I've had a few little taps, so just want to double check it. Oh, we've got a little bit of weight. We have got a little bit of weight. There we go. Little dogfish on the sardine head. Right, let's go. Oh, and that's really nice as well. Pete's just had a fish as well. I caught it on one of my rigs. Yeah. Awesome. Oh, do you know what? You know when it starts off so slow and all you're worried about is just catching a fish. And then when you catch a couple, like your whole spirits are lifted. It's wicked. Hopefully everyone's spirits are lifted because then everybody knows that there's fish out there. So, and potentially it could be anyone. You know, it's just lucky really that my bait happened to be in the right place at the right time when a fish was swimming past. Let's face it, 90% of fishing is luck, I reckon. Well, that swell's definitely eased up a bit, which is nice. I think the tide's probably turned, that's why the swell's eased off. Well, certainly we're at the top of the tide anyway. God, I tell you what though, those last couple of hours has gone super quick. So we've got basically just over an hour left. Hour to try and winkle out one more fish maybe. And then it'll be time to pack down. But yeah, what a session, my adrenaline. My heart's still going. I'm going to be really tired later. Oh, well that's nice. I've just been had a chat with Nick and he's on the phone to one of the other chaps as well down on the other end of the wall. And there seems to be a few fish coming out now. Now that we've hit the top of the tide and maybe it's turned a little bit. There's been a few bass weighed in, all over £2. Obviously we can't keep them at the moment, but we've only got a couple of days. There's been some rockling, dogfish obviously, conger. We've had a couple of ungulates. Yeah, so there's some fish coming out now, which is really nice. Because obviously, like I said, it is a bit harder at the beginning when there's not a lot happening. It's easy to get a bit disheartened. But now I think everyone can see that there are fish out there. At least it gives you a bit of hope. But yeah, nice to see a couple of bass coming out. Might be worth dropping one in close in a minute. I've still got some crab. So I'm going to have to bait that up because like I say, that crab's definitely not going to go back in the freezer. It's already cut up, it's already peeled. So I've got one ready to go there. And then I'll probably bait up a whole rig with crab top and bottom. But yeah, great stuff. So I'm struggling to see if I'm getting a bite or not. It looks like I might be, but I'm not entirely sure. Might just be a little bit of swell. Maybe the crabs are marching on through again. Who knows? So we've got that nice crab bait going out. Let's have a look. There we go. So that's that nice crab that I was on about. We've got a nice big lump of crab on the bottom on the pennel and a smaller piece on the top. And I'm just going to dump this one in. Like 20 yards maybe, 20, 30 yards. Not going to chuck it out very far. But it's not ready to go out just yet anyway. But on the next cast, I'm going to lob that one out. Rebait the one I bring in, obviously, and then that will probably be my last couple of casts. Start having a little tidy up, pack a few bits away. Oh, so I've just realised that my battery's run out on my mic, so I'm not sure where it cut off. So hopefully we got most of it. So that time's come now anyway. I've already packed one rod away. And I've really enjoyed this session. It's been really quite hard work. Obviously, it's been mixed results up and down the beach, but quite a few people have got into fish. Not entirely sure where I've come, so I'll put all the results up here, as always. Fingers crossed we're somewhere up here. But yeah, I'm super chuffed, man. I'm so happy to get PB undulate race, especially in a comp. Yeah, it's really made up for quite a few, not poor sessions. I've been catching fish, but haven't had anything stand out, and that was definitely stand out for me. So I hope you really enjoyed it. Please don't forget that you can get all the rigs from frugaloutdoors.co.uk. And also, if you've made it this far and you haven't already subscribed, then please do think about it. Nothing more really to say other than until the next one, please take care, stay safe, and maybe I'll see you out there. Cheers. And of course, the obligatory bag of C6 squid, or C6 squid. Sea-sick or seasick squid, as somebody pointed out the other day, which I thought was highly amusing.